July 20th, 1944. A bomb hidden in a briefcase explodes at the Wolf's Lair, Adolf Hitler's military headquarters. It was the opening move in an elaborate plan to kill the Nazi leader and overthrow his government.
Surviving the July 20th bombing convinces Hitler beyond a shadow of a doubt that he has been chosen by heaven or by Providence to lead the German people.
In the spring of 1945, Germany is under assault from multiple directions. In the east, the Red Army rapidly advances towards Berlin. In the west, the Allies continue on a broad front as they approach the Rhine River.
The Rhine is the Germans' last key strategic position to try and delay the inevitable of the Allies getting into Germany and defeating the Third Reich.
It's a big, broad river, fast-flowing, deep, and the Germans know this, so they're planning to kind of defend every inch of it.
Their defense strategy in the west is to blow up all the bridges across the River Rhine, to use this huge natural barrier.
British Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery designs an operation that will take Allied forces across the Rhine and further into Germany. But unexpectedly, the American 9th Armored Division discovers another way into the German Reich.
Really out of nowhere, an advanced unit of Americans ends up at the Remagen Bridge, the key bridge across the Rhine, and the Germans, they fail to destroy the bridge properly.
It's not because the Germans were dumb. The Germans tried to blow the bridge. It's just that they didn't have enough explosives to do the job.
But it was very stoutly built. The bridge just kind of jumps on these really heavy stone piers and then settles back into place. The Allies couldn't believe their luck, so they raced forward and they took the bridge. And they get across the Rhine 3 weeks earlier than anticipated.
Once you're over the Rhine, you're into Germany proper. It's a crucial moment for the war in the West.
For the Germans, this is a huge blow, because now the Allies can bring in reinforcements much quicker, and Hitler is absolutely furious about this.
Oh, Hitler is prone to rage at this time, and he demands that everyone responsible be immediately court-martialed. Not brought to Berlin to explain, but a drumhead court-martial in the field and shot.
Hitler retreats to Berlin. He orders the destruction of bridges, roads, railways, factories, anything that can aid the Allied advance.
Blow up the bridges, blow up the sanitation, blow up the power plants, even if it doesn't do any good in the war effort. There's no reason to worry about a post-war Germany. He stopped caring about the individual people because they're no longer worthy of surviving the war.
Hitler commands his loyal and capable Minister of Armaments, Albert Speer, to carry out his order. Speer refuses.
Because he sees that Hitler's, gone mad, essentially. And Speer actually comes to Berlin and says, right before the end, and he says, I haven't done it.
This shows that the bond between Hitler and his leadership is being broken to a certain degree. It's almost to the very last days, the crumbling Third Reich, that this link finally starts to collapse.
On April 19th, Zhukov's troops break through the German lines at Seelow Heights. Konev enters the Nazi capital from the south.
Battle of Berlin is brutal. It's an urban battlefield, which is the hardest sort of fighting and the most costly. It's impossible not to take every building. You can't leave buildings behind you. You're under fire all the time from buildings on both sides. large amounts of civilians are killed, and it's incredibly slow and dangerous.
This moonscape of Berlin that's already been just shattered to rubble is now just being pounded by companies of Soviet infantry filtering into the city from all points. I mean, literally all points.
But in the end, this extraordinary battle, the Soviet troops begin to converge on the Chancellery.
Beneath the Reich Chancellery, Hitler is sequestered in a bunker with his companion, Eva Braun, and surrounded by aides, secretaries, and Nazi party officials. He believes that the military and the German people have let him down.
Hitler wants to keep the resistance going for as long as possible to inflict as much damage on the invading armies. However, he does not want to outlive the war. He does not want to become a prisoner of war. He does not want to become some type of curiosity exhibited by his enemies.
And so he has to stay alive as long as possible, as close to the bitter end as possible, so that there will never really be an idea of Nazi Germany in people's minds. That does not include Adolf Hitler. He's going to go down in Wagnerian fashion and take a world with him.
On April 29th, Hitler is informed that his longtime ally, the Italian dictator Benito Mussolini, has been executed. His body put on display by Italian partisans.
Mussolini has just been hung upside down in a gas station in northern Italy, along with his mistress, Clara Petacci, where he's like mocked and spat upon and vilified. Hitler fears the same fate for himself.
The Soviets are right outside the Fuhrer bunker. He's listening to the shelling happening above him.
And so Adolf Hitler on April 30th, 1945, commits suicide in the Fuhrer bunker along with Eva Braun in a city that has been reduced to rubble.
When Hitler commits suicide, Stalin is woken in the night by Marshal Zhukov, and Marshal Zhukov says to him, "Marshal Stalin, I've got news. Hitler is dead, and he's committed suicide in the ruins." And there's a long silence. And then Stalin says something like, "So that's the end of the bastard," puts the phone down, and goes back to sleep.
On May 2nd, the Soviets raised their flag above the ruins of the Reichstag. On May 7th, German General Alfred Jodl surrenders to the Western Allies at Reims, France. A day later, the Germans officially surrendered to the Soviets.
With the stroke of the pen, Nazi Germany ceases to exist on May 8, 1945.